Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having a great start to the week. Guys, the fusion plan has been released and we are going to take a look at it. So let's jump right into it. So here we go. As we already know, it's a classic fusion. That means it's going to be a little bit harder, a little bit more resource intensive than other fusions like fragments and hybrids, but still manageable. And I'm actually going to show you how you can do all these events and tournaments, even if you have a new account. So a friend of mine has a level 50 account, not even level 50 yet. He can 4-key Nightmare Demon Lord, and that's about it. Barely hit the stage, the stage 20 of the dungeons. And I'm going to run him through this fusion and make sure he's going to complete it. And I'm going to show you guys in separate videos how you can manage all these tournaments and events pretty easily. Because I had some comments lately where people are saying, I can't do fusions, I'm not able to. And I don't think that's true. I think everybody's able to. You just have to know how these fusions work and what you need to do, what you need to pay attention to, and how to manage your resources. And then, in my opinion, pretty much everybody can do it. Now, you can't do fusions if you are opening shards as soon as you get them, right? But yeah, enough of that. Let's talk about the fusion plan. So today we are starting with a Gear Hunters event. That's probably, a Dungeon Divers, alongside with a Fire Knight tournament. So that's actually pretty good. We can go straight into farming Fire Knight. There's no need to wait. No other event or tournament at the same time. So yeah. And by the way, basically how these classic fusions work, right? You need to collect 4 of these rare champions to fuse one of these epic champions, and then fuse 4 epic champions into the legendary fusion champion, which is Granite Doorkeep. So basically, you have to collect 16 rare champions from these events and tournaments, unless you're lucky enough and you pull the epic, the fusion epic, or some of the fusion rares, or you get the extra fusion epic from the summon rush for some extra points. That's probably something not a lot of people can or will do. Let's actually take a look how much points we actually need for this Gear Hunters event. So we need to get 3,700 points to get the rare, which is pretty much the same as in the previous Dungeon Divers event. I don't know why it's Gear Hunters event now, but I don't know, it's kind of weird now that they changed the name. But yeah, we can get a 2-star assault on the way. But other than that, nothing really crazy. Now let's take a look at the Fire Knight tournament. Fire Knight tournament, it's starting in an hour, but it should be at like 2,200, 300 points, something like that, for the rare champion, which means around like 2.3 K energy if you are farming Fire Knight stage 20. If you're farming Fire Knight stage 10 or any of the hard mode stages, then it will cost a little bit more energy, but in return, you also have a chance to get, gear that might upgrade your account. So in my opinion, if you can't farm Fire Knight hard, I would definitely do that instead of Fire Knight 20. But if you don't have enough energy, or you want to save energy and you want to be more efficient with your energy, you should farm stage 20. So the ratio for points for these dungeon tournaments is, on stage 20, it is pretty much 1-to-1. And on the hard stages, it's lower than 1. Now, back to the fusion plan. So we have one Dungeon Divers here, and we have another one here. So we have 3 Dungeon Divers. We have Fire Knight, Dragon, Ice Golem, and Spider tournament, pretty much as always. Then we have 3 gear enhancement events, and I'm going to show you how you can easily do these too, even if you don't have a lot of silver. These are probably the easiest, or alongside the arena ones, the easiest ones to do. And then we have a champion training tournament here and a champion training event, and the summon rush and the champ chase. So yeah, pretty much as always, 3 dungeon divers, 2 summoning events, and then 3 gear enhancement events, and all the dungeon tournaments, as well as 2 classic arena takedowns. So if you are not going for this extra epic on a summer rush, you need to collect every single rare. If you miss one of them, you will not be able to complete this fusion. That's the kind of like the thing about the classic fusions. You don't really have a room for failure, right? But if you are going for this extra epic, or you pull one of these champions, you can definitely skip some events, right? If you get this epic, you can basically skip 4 events in total. So basically you can trade shards if you have a lot of shards, and you can, get this epic for like all the energy that you would spend to complete, dungeon divers, for example. But if you have a lot more energy than shards, then you should go for the dungeon divers and, dungeon tournaments. So to complete one of the dungeon divers events, it will cost you 5k energy, right about 5k. And we have 3 dungeon divers. That means 15k energy in total is what you would need to complete this fusion without, getting the extra epic, if you just go for the rares. Now the first one is probably the one with the the lowest value, because you can only run you can only complete 2 events or tournaments at the same time. Like you would have to run Fire Knight basically until you finish up this dungeon divers. On this dragon tournament here, on this Gear Hunters event 2, you can theoretically, if you are able to, solo dragon, get champion train points, and then triple dip points here and complete this Gear Hunters event number 2. But the gear, like the dungeon divers events, I don't know why it's Gear Hunters now, it's confusing me. But the dungeon divers events are really in a bad spot here. So there's only, like, you can only complete one of these dungeon divers with farming, 2 dungeons. So either you're gonna complete Dungeon Divers 3 with the Ice Golem tournament and the Spider tournament, or you're gonna complete, Gear Hunters event 2 with Dragon and Ice Golem. So yeah, I think the Dungeon Divers are probably the make or break here, because they're gonna cost you a lot of energy, and you will probably end up spending a lot of energy just completing those Dungeon Divers events. But at least, we can triple dip points here for Gear Hunters 2 with the Dragon, Champ Train, and Gear Hunters 2, and then triple dip points with the Spider Tournament, Champ Train event, and Gear Hunters 3. So the Fire Knight tournament and the Ice Golem tournament are pretty much in a bad spot. If it would overlap for one day with this Gear Hunters event 2, that would be so much better, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy fusion calendar. Actually, it's going to cost a lot of energy. So I would suggest you, if you want to go for this fusion, to definitely try to complete these Dungeon Divers events and save your shards and not go for this extra epic, because I'm still anticipating a guaranteed event for one of the turtles where you have to use shards, and you don't want to use your shards for this fusion and then end up short on the turtles, right? Because you can theoretically pull this guy whenever, even after the fusion, which will most likely happen anyway, but the turtles are limited, right? After the turtles collab, you won't be able to get them anymore. So yeah, I would rather save my shards, not go for the summer rush, and spend your free energy into this Dungeon Divers, or into these Dungeon Divers events, to get the rares and then complete the fusion that way. Also, if you are, collecting all your rares, you can get a lot of champion training points at the end. We have the champ chase at the end, which is absolutely huge, because once we get to the champ chase, we pretty much have 3 out of 4 epics ready to fuse. That means that's already 750 points, right? So that's already a good head start into the Champ Chase tournament, and you will get a lot of points for, champion training as well. So that's a good thing about this fusion. But yeah, the dungeon divers are probably the downside here. So yeah, that will probably be my approach as well. I want to save up as many shards as I can too. Like, I'm not gonna go for this extra epic, even though it would save me a lot of energy, but I don't think it's worth it because of the reasons, that I mentioned. I want to get the, Ninja Turtles, the guaranteed Ninja Turtles. I'm pretty sure there will be guaranteed events. I just don't know how they're gonna look like. There's also a chance that they won't be guaranteed, but I don't really think so though. Like, it would be such an upset if they won't be guaranteed at some point. But yeah, everything is possible, right? But I'm anticipating a guaranteed event for Leo and Raphael at least. I don't think Shredder's going to be guaranteed unless it's going to be in a Champ Chase tournament outside of this fusion, or maybe even part of this fusion. That could be, but who knows? We will see. So yeah, that will be my approach. So I'm going to farm Fire Knight today, complete the Dungeon Divers as well. Then triple dip points here on Saturday once the Gear Hunters event 2 starts. Solo the Dragon, get Champ Chain points, get Gear Hunters event points. I'm going to call it Gear Hunters now, I guess. Then I'm going to wait for Wednesday, solo the Ice Golem. I'm probably going to run stage 20 and then get some points for the Gear Hunters event 3. And then finish it up with the Spider Tournament and also triple dip points here for the Champ Train, Spider Tournament, and the Gear Hunters event 3. And then by the time the Champ Chase starts, we will have, 3 epics ready to fuse, which will be an easy 750 points right from the start. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my plan. Let me know in the comments below if you are going for this fusion. I'm definitely gonna go for it because, you never know when these champions are going to be useful. And I think this guy has a really unique kit. He has the Shatter buff. If you build him in a protection set, he can give you additional Death Ignore and additional bonus damage. He has a couple of buffs, increase accuracy, Shatter, and then also increase crit damage. So that's an additional 15% more damage plus Death Ignore. Yeah, I think we can find some use for this guy. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. It really goes a long way. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here. And see you in the next one.